Wardy, how are we doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, very well. How's the week been?
Been great. Got out to play some golf myself.
Well, hey, back in the horse.
Yeah, but before we get to that, episode 15, here we are.
Yeah, flying along.
Yeah, we just couldn't believe it.
Not sick of each other yet.
Not yet. Even in close quarters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good sign.
Yeah. So we both played some golf this week. So agenda for today will be, we've got some personal golf both to talk about, either in lessons or on the golf course.
Yep.
We've got Michael Brennan and on the PGA Tour.
Yep.
We've got Trump making an entrance to Live.
Yeah, and an entrance it was.
Yes, injecting himself there. And then we've got our normal dialed in and out of bounds.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Another week of tour to talk about.
And we do have some little product releases too, which we'll quickly touch on.
Yep.
But, we might save those for the next couple of weeks as well, because we've got a special guest lined up for next week.
We do indeed. Yeah, our first guest.
Yeah.
Look at us moving along.
I know. So firstly, personal golf.
Yep.
Talk to me. Putting lesson in the facility last week.
Yeah, we made use of it, the facility for the
Yes.
first time, which was good. So yeah, the putting lesson on Thursday, I think. I can't remember. The week all blurred into one, and then played on Friday. Putting lesson was really good. Took certain parts out of it that, were just tidying up the stroke. Putted like shit on Friday. But that is to be expected as you're kind of settling in and bedding it in. But I think there was definitely 2 or 3 key takeaways for me that are just going to make me, I'm not going to say a better putter, but improve my stroke.
I think you'll get a lot of consistency out of from what having the same setup all the time is definitely going to help you day to day and week to week with your putting.
Yeah, look, the big thing for me, I was like, I'm just tinkering for the sake of tinkering here, and just kind of being a bit of a fuckwit, kind of doing it for the sake of it. But there was definitely some like key takeaways for me that are like, how I'm lining up at the ball from a body point of view as opposed to, eye to ball to hole. That I think will make a big impact immediately without it having to be drastically change the swing. And then realizing that I'm very left-hand dominant for a right-handed person. But again, I take that with a bit of a pinch of salt because at the end of the day, I'm a Saturday golfer. So, if it helps a little bit, great, but I'm not going to die in a ditch on it like, if a PGA Tour pro is like practicing on the green before a round. It's like, you got to have the happy medium in it.
You do, but I think it's important to know your tendencies too, right?
Yes.
So that's the part that will help you week to week in correcting whatever's going wrong if you know what the tendency is. So you're like, okay, my left hand gets strong or weak or pushy or pulley or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then you can self-diagnose on the course and get back on track sooner.
Yeah, and I think that's been the biggest thing for me over the last 12 months on this journey of improvement. Like, it's knowing what you're missing looks like and how you're missing it, because then that allows you to self-correct. But also just being more in tune with what you're doing. Whereas up to then it was like, I didn't know where the swing was going. I didn't know where the putter plane was going. And I think that's been the biggest improvement that I've seen in myself as a golfer.
And your playing partners even commented on how good your stroke looks. So that's...
Yeah. You always take that as like good feedback, especially when they're better golfers. But I think knowing that myself, I'm like, that felt like a good stroke and a good shot. That was the bit, I suppose, the feedback loop that was missing.
And you're getting the feedback from the putter as well for that sort of stuff?
Yeah, like I knew when I was becoming more left-hand dominant as opposed to, I knew when I was being more left-hand dominant as opposed to right-hand dominant, and what that was ultimately impacting me on with the putting stroke itself. Whereas pre the lesson, it was like, why am I putting it left all the time? Whereas there was like, okay, simple understanding. I knew why, but I didn't know how to correct it.
Yeah.
And I think so from that side of it, it was worthwhile.
Yeah, great. Totally agree. Like I just sat in and watched a little bit of it, and it looked great. You looked like you had a few good takeaways from it, some setup related, some stroke related, that are ultimately going to make you a better golfer, right?
Yeah, and look, I would definitely say I leave probably on a good day, maybe 3 or 4 shots out there. On a really bad day, probably like 5 or 6 shots out there. So if you can tighten that up a little bit more and it becomes more like, 2 or 3 every round, then you're improving dramatically. And that's kind of where I'm at. So, the other way I looked at it is if you're getting a lesson for your short game and your long irons and your woods, why would you not do it for the putter?
Exactly.
I think, a lot of pros would say, you should begin at the putting green and work back. So from that side of it, definitely worthwhile. Do I think I'll be getting weekly putting lessons? No. But, I think it's good to get a bit of a tune-up every now and then.
We also can't practice what Ben, shout out to Ben,
Yep.
what he has told you if you're having it every week, right? The idea is for you to go and work on it, come back, see the results of what you've done, and then go again, right? You need that feedback loop.
Yeah, totally. And look, definitely a big shout out to Ben. The use of the Skillist app, and this is the other part, like for me, is super important. Like he's uploaded everything in video format, along with notes, along with alignments, so that as you're practicing, it's easy to go back and self-correct and self-check. Whereas if you don't have that, this feels good. You're just embedding the bad habits again.
Yeah.
So from that side of things, it was definitely worthwhile.
You're never going to remember every single thing you said, right? So to have that reference point, I think there's nothing better than you go down for a practice session where you're not playing golf to the golf course.
Yeah.
You go, you grab a coffee, you rewatch the videos that Ben's uploaded, and then you go and have a practice putt, and then you go home.
Yeah. And look, that's the thing I've been guilty of like the most this year is like probably haven't. I know at the outset of the podcast we said that the aim was to practice more and play less. I reckon I've probably practiced, but not as much as I wanted, where it's just you're going down a dedicated practice session, you're leaving. Because the weather's just been so bloody good that I've been getting out and playing on those days. We're still working first world problems, I know.
And we're still working on getting a facility where you can practice up and running.
The facility is there, but like, if you can be outside when the weather is good, I think that's kind of been where I've just gone and played on a Friday.
Yeah,
and then
but that's what you should do
in the evening.
Yeah, that's what you should do, right? When the weather's good, get out and play. But when you're there to practice, we want the feedback that you're getting indoors.
Utilize our facility and
Correct. Which we're hoping to get some members in shortly.
Yes.
But, good to hear the putting lesson went well though.
Yep.
Yeah.
And personal golf other than that was good. It was nice to get out and play. The weather was good on Friday, so no complaints. Okay. And what about you? This is the one we want to really hear about. First round in 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
7 weeks. Yeah. I snuck one in the week before Morgan was born.
Yeah.
So
did you feel like a different man going out as a dad?
So much perspective, as they say on TV. So much perspective. But yeah, debut the GTS Woods.
Yes. Yeah. They've been burning a hole in the back.
They have. They've been the plastic still on them, and they had to get out and see the golf course. See the golf course, see a swing. They hadn't even been swung in here.
Yeah.
So that was awesome to get them out there.
How do we go?
Loved it. Yeah. GTS 4 for the driver, unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I think the thing I noticed was the sound for the strike was just a lot more solid.
Yeah.
And there wasn't one metric that changed with the build of the club. Swing weight was the same, length was the same, shaft was even the same. I think the setting was even the same on the short fit.
So do you feel, being, by trade a dedicated club fitter, that what Titleist have done is they've just improved the overall head of the club?
Yes, but I did change models of the head pretty drastically, right? I went from the GT to the not the stock standard, but the core model that's CG further back. If you miss strike it, not as bad. To the better players, GTS 4, where you have to get that strike right. Yeah. And I'd sort of steered away from that in the past because my strike gets a bit variable, right? Yeah. I don't have the greatest golf swing in the world, and I know that. That's fine. I hate looking at it on camera, but that's another story. And so I've always sort of steered away from that initially, right?
Yeah.
And so that was great to get an agnostic look at it where I wasn't fitting myself. And that's why I went to the guys at Titleist to do it, because I have my own preconceived ideas.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to just have somebody else look at it that doesn't know me as well, and could go, no, I think that's worth a shot. So it was fantastic. You could see in the ball flight, apart from the sound, it just went a little bit higher for the most part, but never got spinny and never got loopy. It was like mishit it slightly high on the head, and it had that low spin bomb, right? Yeah. And when I struck it a little bit out of the bottom, I didn't really notice a difference in the ball flight.
Yeah. So wonderful.
Everything you want.
Yeah.
So absolutely loved it. The 3-wood got a good use as well.
Yeah.
We played the composite course at PK in prep. Yeah, for the Aussie Open and the Aussie Tour event they're going to host next year.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to try the routing out again and just see how everything went. We were one of the only ones on the golf course because the weather was so bad. But because we played that from the blue tees, which is further back, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for the new 7-wood.
Yes.
But once we play either the white course or a different sort of setup.
We'll find some time over the better weather months.
Yeah. So I took out, like it was really wet, so I took out my normal K-star in the lob wedge and put in a low bounce K, just a bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
I took out the driving iron and put in the 7-wood. And then the old driver and the 3-wood, I was like, just throw caution to the wind and get the new ones in there. So
sounds like a very first world problem from a golfer. Not many of our listeners will have the ability to be able to do that.
Yes.
I think that's the other part as well. Like, we're in such a fortunate position that we can do that. Whereas, the average Saturday golfer probably can't up and change.
Your golf clubs are your golf clubs, right?
Yeah,
You've got 14, that's it. Yeah.
And I think throughout the last 15 episodes, that's probably the key piece that we want to give our listeners is that, it is super important to get fitted. Get clubs in the bag that you're comfortable with. Get wedges in the bag that you can hit on a wet day and on, the midsummer's
every day.
And it's rock hard.
Yep.
Because, as you said, they are your golf clubs. And I think that's, when you're speaking about the GTS and the new woods there, I was a similar situation when I put that in my bag. It was a golf club that I was confident with, I was comfortable with. I knew would work whether it was a headwind or a tailwind or it was pissing down rain. And I think that's the biggest piece for weekend golfers.
And I think like anyone that comes in for a fitting too, that's always the goal. We're trying to optimize performance, full stop.
Yeah.
Right. We're not looking for a driver that's good in summer and a driver that's good in winter.
Yeah.
Right. We're looking for the best maximum carry and roll, whatever the metric we're looking at. Right.
And I think the more we've talked about it, it's become really clear. It's like, I think if we'd had this conversation 4 or 5 years ago, it'd be someone coming in saying, I want ping, I want tightness as my sole brand within the bag. We're now seeing that go to the next level of, I want these types of shafts. These types of shafts are better for you because of X, Y, and Z. These types of grips are better because they feel better. You know where the club is at X, Y, and Z points in time. And we're seeing a bit more of that detail come through specialized fitting. And I think that's so important.
And just consumers are more well educated in a good way.
Yeah.
Because of things like YouTube and social media and all that sort of stuff, where you can go and watch tour level fittings, you can go and watch the brand agnostic guys from overseas, and then our job here in Australia is to do the same thing and make sure that you've got the best 14 golf clubs for you, or less.
Yeah.
Right? There's quite a few golfers that I'm like, you don't need 14 golf clubs.
Which is testing.
You don't need 4 wedges. Yeah.
Your client base is very reoccurring. And that's a testament to how you fit and how you put people in the right equipment. And I think that's super important.
It's important to shout out that we don't do Band-Aids and that we want to build that long-term relationship, because your golf is never going to be exactly the same all the time.
I wish it was.
You and me both. Yeah. But, it's 6 months down, 12 months down the line from when you purchase clubs, if you're actively working on your golf game, you need to have a look at your loft and lies. Yes. You need to check the settings on your driver, because things will change over time. Yeah. And it's not about purchasing new golf clubs, it's about making the ones that you've got work, because we want the 14 best in your bag or less, like I said. So important to sort of shout that out while we are very lucky and we sort of acknowledge that.
Yeah,
with the new stuff.
But all in all, it sounds like it was a good first outing back in the course.
Was winning lunch, so that's all we care about.
Laughing. Yeah. Bragging rights for a week.
Exactly. The burger was amazing. What more can you ask for?
Yeah. Happy days.
Yeah. So very much, and I'm not going to say I got the bug back, but same thing. You know your tendencies and you know the things that showed up and didn't show up, and I'm like, I can just tweak that slightly, right?
Yeah. Well, it was like even on Friday after my round, I was having lunch afterwards, and the guy that I played with was going back out, and he was going to do some practicing, and I turned around and I'm like, I have the itch to go back out, because the round, I couldn't leave, even though I had to leave, I couldn't leave content enough knowing that the golf was at a level that I was happy to be content over the weekend.
Yes.
And I was like, almost a bit like, I can't believe you're going back out and I have to go home. And that's the bug, like that is it. It's just like you're itching to go back out.
Yeah. But again, I know a place that's 24 hours. So
yes, exactly right. Yeah.
When you put the kids down to bed, come and scratch that itch.
That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
24/7, you can come when it suits your life and time. And I think that's where we're going to see the evolving, I suppose, the nature of indoor golf evolve. And
you're getting that feedback that you talked about with your putting, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
we know exactly where you're striking on the face. you're knowing all of your metrics that you can use on TrackMan. We've got Capto here at the facility as well for the members, and just being able to sort of see, face angle, the most important metric in putters and putter fitting. Like what you're doing, right? Why are you pulling it?
What I need to strap on to my putter for the next couple of weeks.
Yes, yeah, and actually they have a consumer version one called Capto EZ.
Steady on now. You know what my spending is like when I see something.
But you've got an upcoming golf trip to get ready for.
Yes, I do. Yeah, which I'm very excited for. I am praying to the weather gods that the weather continues that they have had in the UK and Ireland for the last number of months.
Yeah.
But yes, we have 3 rounds booked in at the moment.
Nice.
The Old Head, Lahinch and Waterville. And then hopefully I can tack on another 1 or 2 along the way. But, if it's only those 3, I'll be very happy, man.
Yeah. Sounds like a nice trip.
Yeah, look, the Old Head, I'm a bit kind of like, it's just one to tick off.
You have to do it.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
Bring a bag of balls. Pray to God it doesn't blow a gale off the Atlantic. And yeah, we should have a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's get on to the PGA Tour for this week.
Yes.
So we had Michael Brennan get the win. The things that stood out to me from his gear and even just the week that he had, I saw some stats around strokes gained putting. You obviously have to win on the PGA Tour, you have to have a pretty good week with the putter, right?
Yeah.
I think he switched into a new GoLo version that Titleist put it up on their socials pretty much after he won straight away. You had the sort of worm's eye view of that sort of that winning putt and it rolling end over end. And like that GoLo shape, I'm a big fan of. I like the shape
it is.
of the
It's
putt.
kind of like for the layman, like half mallet.
Yeah.
With the same weight. And I think if you've been playing a blade, it's probably a nice aesthetic to look down at.
I
certainly worked for him.
I had a version of it 10 years ago. So it's been around for a while.
It has.
But they've iterated it. And
it wasn't always it wasn't always as sexy as it is looking now.
Very true, very true. It is, it's non-symmetrical, I think. So the heel looks a bit different from the toe side, which would take a bit of getting used to for me personally.
Yeah.
My sort of more analytical brain, I don't think could handle that very well.
The bit that stuck out the most for me was it's probably the largest circle T on any putter the Titleist or Scotty has.
It's a big stamp on the bottom. yeah. You've got a lot of real estate there.
Normally they're really minimalist and subtly put in there. This one is there for the world to see.
Yeah, smack bang on the bottom. So the other thing I noticed was still had a GT driver, but GTS fairway, which we've seen a few times already.
Yeah.
I think because of the uptake, I think there was a big improvement from GT to GTS for fairway woods. We saw the silver or chrome sort of face, which was a bigger limonade, but also just the way they perform was great. So I think it's been a no-brainer for a lot of tour pros to put the fairway woods straight in.
And the numbers that have been there to uptake.
Yeah, and the drivers have still had an amazing uptake as well, but just quicker uptake on tour for the fairways, and then everyone sort of takes the time to...
I think for those types of players who are looking to make the top 70 and get into the season-ending tour championship, I'm not tinkering with what I have. I just need this to work for another 2 or 3 weeks. Like I think we saw Jackson Coyve in the week previous had a GT in the bag as well, hadn't gone to GTS on the driver side of things.
Yeah.
Do I think that there'll be a GTS in the bag by the turn and start of the season next year? Absolutely. But it's like I've got 5 events. I need to finish as high up the leaderboard as I can to make sure I make the season-ending events.
Well, I think even with me, right, I went from that 2 to 4, right, completely different models. You have to do that testing sometime.
Whereas if you're Justin Thomas, you're like, I'm into the season-ending part.
Even then I wouldn't change.
Yeah.
You're playing a lot of tournament golf every week.
Yeah, I just wonder, does it make more of a difference for those guys further down the leaderboard to hang on and go, I know this works. I've just got to stick with it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but I think that's how you get to the top of the leaderboard, is not changing.
Yeah.
During the season, right? And
but during the season.
Yeah, yes. I think our listeners can learn a bit from that as well, right? When you're playing a lot of golf, then concentrate on one thing at a time. Or A/B test, right? Change one thing at a time.
Yeah, that's the big piece. Yeah, don't be changing everything.
Yeah, so I think, a lot of them will do that. And it's also timing of when the products are released too.
Yeah, I think this week was an interesting week where you weren't actually as focused on the person that was winning the tournament. It was more the back end of the 70 and like how that was moving as the round evolved.
But that's the end of
who was out, and that was the exciting part of it. It wasn't like Michael Brennan winning. It was like, oh, that was the nice to have in piece. It was like, actually, who made it in out of the three at the bottom?
But that's why I think sometimes on Friday we should have cut watchers and watching the guys around the cut for the same reason, right? It's exciting.
And you also see the pressure start to get to those guys a bit more because they know.
And when you're not playing as well, right? When you're not absolutely flushing it.
My heart did bleed a small bit for Bo Hostler, and like you don't see him all that much, and he's not that much of an exciting guy, but like he was leading all week, and then came second, and then 72nd and missed it by 2. But that's the bit that I suppose you see, and that's the exciting part of it. How it's set up now.
I think Melburnian should have a soft spot for Bo. He's got a coffee business that roams around on tour as well. And, coffee snobs.
That's what it is. I saw him doing a video this morning back at his club. I think he had some names like Purple something.
Not sure. But he's right into it, which I appreciate.
Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. There you go. There's Wardy's fun fact for the week.
Exactly. Completely non-golf related. It was great to watch the sort of top 70 watch.
Yeah.
As opposed to just...
Yeah, we've got 3 weeks of greatness now.
Yeah.
70 to 50 to 30. Happy days.
And just great fields, great quality golf, better golf courses. Yeah, good to have them.
So who are you saying wins the Tour Championship?
Does it matter?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Apart from a cash grab?
Yeah, cash grab, yeah.
Yeah.
Like last year was Tommy, he had won the PGA Tour win and he wins.
Well, that was different because he hadn't won before, right? So him winning for the first time on the PGA Tour was awesome.
Deep down, the Scotty was the winner of the year.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, I think it's wide open.
Yeah.
They've all won similar amounts. Like if you were to say who's the champion player of the year, it's probably Matt Fitzpatrick when you look at it, even though Scotty's way ahead on points. Matt's had like 3 wins, X amount of second place finishes or top 10 finishes.
The most consistent golfer.
Yeah.
Well, actually...
He has been.
Yeah, but Scotty Scheffler only gets those points if he's very consistent as well.
Yeah, but that's it. He just hasn't won this year, but he's been in the top 10 pretty much every tournament.
Exactly.
Apart from the one missed cut.
Exactly. So, you can't really say he's not consistent either.
Yeah.
I think I'm just looking forward to good golf courses and good fields. So if you flick on the golf at night or in the morning, you're going to see someone you want to watch.
Yeah. And the venues are much better for the last 3 pieces
exactly.
as well.
Yeah. Now, equipment releases this week.
Yes.
We've got some new wedges from Cleveland,
nice
some RTZ2s. And I think it's really nice, the story behind these. We'll get into it sort of more in future weeks once we've got them in hand and in the studio. But for the most part, Roger Cleveland back. I think he's got some signature grinds. So it'd be really cool to see, like, the Cleveland brand is wedges.
Yeah, it's always been synonymous with wedges and also like a great price point for golfers.
Yeah. I think in Australia, we're going to see them $299 retail. Like, we're not creeping up into that sort of $350 range, 320, $350 range as a lot of the other ones are.
Yeah.
And you're getting great performance. And part of that sort of whole Shrixon, Cleveland, Dunlop family, which has been going gangbusters this year. Right? The wins on tour that we've seen from Foxy to others, like, they couldn't have had a better year.
Oh, this has been I won't say their breakout year, but it's been the year where their equipment is definitely featured at the top of leaderboards a lot more.
Yes, yeah. RKT for the woods for Shrixon.
Yep.
Traditionally it's Shrixon irons, Cleveland wedges. That's what they're known for. So we always have a soft spot then for these wedges, and we'll get them into the facility for sure, and
we'll
get them in some golfers' bag.
Video and see what we make.
Absolutely. I mean, there's always a couple of grinds in particular that work for the turf conditions that you and I play. So we don't need every single grind that they make, but we'll get close to that. And having the options available for golfers. But yeah, they're a classic part of golf. And yeah, great to see them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And what else have we had come through this week?
We had, I think the other one we're going to talk about is just the uptake of golf with the lab putters, the new model in the Vision.
Yes.
Right. So it's not brand new this week, but we've seen the first couple come through the facility for custom orders. We're still waiting on a few stock orders because they've been pretty popular. But I mean, I guess that leads us to our dialed in and out of bounds for the week. So Lab Vision putters, dialed in or out of bounds. Okay.
I'm probably going to be dialed in just because I know that Lab make really good putters in that style. I haven't seen one in person yet. So whether that shape is something I'd put in my own bag, I don't know. I did have a DF3 for a while, so it's not too dissimilar to that.
It is, but it isn't, right? It's very square and alignment.
But like length of the head,
yes,
it's not too dissimilar. Look, I'm just going to say dial in, just because
it's made by a brand that you like.
Yeah, that, and like, you know, they haven't gone too off track with what they've released so far. Like they've been able to pinpoint where it does make a difference and how it aids golfers.
Yep. I'm saying dialed in for different reasons. I like the story behind the putter in general, right? I think the straight lines, the alignment aids, the fact that you can customize them completely to what you want, as well as all the shafts and the heads and all that stuff is great. But I'm dialed in for it doing what it's supposed to do, which is not always the case in golf, right? You see a lot of marketing stories where, you know, there's a lot of
to make the swing though.
There's a lot of buzzwords in golf sometimes for marketing. So I think the fact that, you know, I've only seen one or two in person so far, and fit a few of them so far, but having that sort of, you know, being able to put it down and go, yep, that's where I'm lined up to. I think the center shaft leads itself well to this shape.
Yes, it does.
They only have one shaft lean, from what I understand, which is 1.5 degrees, which again is just not confusing golfers then. And yeah, for all the customization options with alignment in particular, right? Yes, you can change the head color to whatever you want. You've always been able to do that, but being able to sort of set it up for performance, not just aesthetics.
Yeah,
doesn't mean we can't make it look good as well.
Yeah,
but
exactly right.
Performance first, then we'll get it looking good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So the other thing, dialed in or out of bounds. Oh, Trump's entry to live.
In normal circumstances, I'd be out of bounds. But given the individual it is and how he did it, dialed in.
Okay.
Like everyone says about making an entrance like that. Like to stop the last group in the middle of the fairway while your chopper lands and while you get out before they can play their approach shots to the green. I mean, it's pretty baller, to be fair, at his own golf course.
Actually, very good point when it's your own golf course too. I forgot about that
Zero
part.
fucks given. Like what more? And it's the President of the United States.
Yeah. I saw there was an Aussie, Trav Smythe, went and was hosted by POTUS. And so that was, you know, there's not too many Australians that get to do that.
Yeah,
so.
You gotta give him credit. Like he loves his golf.
Oh, absolutely loves
Whether
it.
he's good, bad, or indifferent, who knows? But he loves.
Oh, I think we know. Yeah. I've seen the swing videos online.
Won the club championship for the 40th time.
Yeah.
I reckon I could be club champion if I played like that.
Yeah, so do I.
And had all the help.
Yeah. The only thing I took note of was the golf cart on the green.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The coolest piece was what he gave Joaquin Neiman afterwards.
Okay, I didn't see that.
He gave him this like gold crested coat of arms from the US presidential office.
Okay.
And I'm like, that would be epic to have. Like that's going to have a place in the trophy cabinet.
I think I saw something similar on Trav's social media as well.
Yeah, like that would be cool.
Yeah.
And like Trav is like he's doing really well this year, but for him to be in that position is like it's a pretty nice touch.
And just for a couple of weeks, right? He's played well at the right time.
Yeah, 100%.
And as we were saying before, right? If you're an Aussie, go for it.
Yeah, I mean Cam John got a run out with the range goats again. Like it's great for this game.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing they're going to come back. They're going to play the Aussie Open. Hopefully they can just drag a few more names, and that's when we start to build a bit of volume and a bit of kind of impetus behind the tournament scene down here.
Yeah, and even if they don't, right? I think for Aussie golfers to have another avenue to make hay while the sun shines, go for it, right?
Yeah, great, because like the Asian Tour is obviously split from Live now. They're members of that. They're going to come back. They're going to play that. There's going to be more PGA players playing those events.
Yep.
It's just good for the caliber and standard of the game here, where the younger guys emulating them have something to aim to and see a path forward.
Even if it's not a pathway with Live that may exist in 2 weeks' time, who knows?
That doesn't matter because the money's come into the game.
Yes.
So it's not going to leave the game overnight. It's going to make it a better place. And we've seen that by what the PGA Tour and the DP Tour have tried to roll out over the last 12, 18 months because they've had no choice.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think even if Live doesn't exist in the very near the not too distant future.
Is it okay?
It has
fingers crossed.
Yeah, you can. We can definitely do that. Then we've seen a positive impact on golf overall.
Yeah.
From creating some competition.
It's a positive impact, like to be really clear, it's a positive impact on golf because the PGA Tour and DP Tour, World Tour have evolved.
Yes.
Live has been a stain on golf. Just
Absolutely. No, very good to elaborate on that. We want to make that very clear. So yes, I'm going to say out of bounds on the entrance to Live for Trump, only because you're standing in the fairway, you're like, what is the wind doing now? I got no idea.
Yeah, well, fair. If we're being real purists, you can be out of bounds. Otherwise, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no. I fully get if you're going to make an entrance to your own golf course. Well done. So MK, next week we'll have a special guest on the pod, Alex from Titleist. He works with their sort of tour team here in Australia. And is on the leadership team for Titleist. So, getting some stories from him, talking about the new GTS 300 Mini is something we want to do. Yeah. So very much looking forward to it.
It should be an exciting topic. I mean, look, as you said, our first guest, someone that we can like pick their brains about, in terms of, what they see on tour week in, week out. What are players looking for within those clubs? And, I suppose in some instances, what's the more unusual setups that he's had to create for them. And, then hopefully we may be able to ask him who are the real prima donnas.
Don't know if we'll get that through, but we'll try. We'll try. So, we'll be joined next week by Alex here in the facility and look forward to it. Okay, I'll see you then.
Awesome. Thanks, Wardy.